Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Live Room Studio on the segment The Journey So Far. I'm your host, Clinton, and today I'm here with a special guest who is here to talk about her journey, what she has been through, the good and the bad. I hope you guys take something from it. It motivates someone out there. If you have encouraging words for her too, you can comment in the comment section, and hopefully we're gonna reply, or she's gonna reply. Hello, Christabel. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So today, we already know what we are here for, and we are here to listen to your life story and whatever you're comfortable with that you want to share to me, the other the viewers out there. So I'll give you the platform, and you can start your journey from where you grew up, what happened, and how you ended up here now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So my name is Christabel. I was born in Kumasi, Ghana.
Okay.
To be precise, I was born in Kwadaso Estate.
Okay.
But we moved to Dechemso in Kumasi. That's where I had most of my life experiences. Like, I grew up there. I went to my primary school at Joy Standard School. It's in Tonsil, Kumasi. Then from there, I went to middle school in Yasantua High School. So we moved from Dechemso when I was in my second year of secondary school. We moved to North Centreso. So that's where my parents, myself, and my younger brother, we lived there till I came here. So from Yasantua, I went to training college.
Okay.
So I was a teacher before I moved here. I was a teacher for a while. I went to St. Louis Training College.
Oh.
And then I had my teaching practice in Barikese. Then from Barikese, I moved to a village. Mm-hmm. It's on the Tepa Road, also in Ghana.
Okay.
I taught there for a year, and then I had the opportunity to move out of Ghana and then move here.
Okay.
There was nothing extra, but so what I would really want to talk about mostly is my life in secondary school, my life in training college, my life a little bit. So in secondary school, everyone who lived in Ghana, Kumasi, knows that Yasantua is like looked at as like rich kids and all that. And my family is now well-to-do. Mm-hmm. So going to school, most of the time it was, my mom tried her best. My dad was like amazing. He would pay my tuition and all that. Okay. My mom would get me all the provisions. Like, she could stock my chobos to like the brim. Yeah. My mom was amazing with that. But sometimes when I go to school during visiting hours, like the cars will be coming and all that, and my parents did not have a car. Yeah. So it made me feel kind of a little bit, not great. But my parents are amazing. My family is great. So I was always happy to see them. My mom would go over the top. She would cook me different meals. So it was during my final year in my secondary school, Yasantua, that I had a problem. So during I think it was the 50th anniversary, we had people. I was a member of the cadet corps, so we had people from other schools come over, and then after that there was like kind of a refreshment and all that. I was chatting with other people and I didn't know what happened, but a teacher slapped me. I wasn't even looking. I don't know what was going on. Like, so after the anniversary was like, they were just jamming, entertainment time. So people were jamming, and like there were other schools, Prempeh, OWAS, OT, like there were so many boys' school and so many people that I didn't even know. So I was just chatting with some of my friends. All I realized was someone had slapped me from behind. Wow. I don't know who it was. And out of reflex action, I also slapped the person back. Ooh. I turned around and I realized it was a teacher.
Was it a female teacher?
It was a male teacher.
Wow.
Yeah. It wasn't such a great experience.
Well, he did it first, so.
But he's a teacher, so.
He's still not supposed to slap you. And you're a girl too. So.
I was young too. And then I was aiming for a prefectship. Because of that, I couldn't get the prefectship. Yeah. But, my friends got it. So it still had it like I did. And then this teacher tormented my life. He made my life a living hell. He would come to my class randomly, and because of what I did, they said they were going to take me to the disciplinary committee, and I couldn't tell my parents about it because my parents knew me as a different person when I'm home. And when I go to school, because I wanted to fit in and all that, I was a different person altogether.
Yeah.
And they said they were going to take me to the disciplinary committee. But so anytime this teacher would just walk by my class and just come and search me randomly for either a phone or something illegal just to get me, in a tight position just so he could punish me or something. But I was lawless, but I kept all my stuff. I had where I used to stash, I used to stash my illegal stuff. So he couldn't find anything on me. So some teachers told me to write him an apology letter.
Yeah.
I did. This teacher just tore the letter right in front of me. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. Do your worst. Like, do whatever you want to do. And I don't really care about it. So, he made my life hell, but hey, I completed.
Do you want to mention his name or something?
He's dead, actually.
Oh. R.I.P., man.
He is dead. I think everyone who went to Yasan Swai Girls Secondary School knows him. They know him as Asparo. He was the head of department for the agric people. So like everyone knew him. He would like debunk people, put scissors in your hand and just shave your hair randomly. He seizes phone. Like he was trying to make people fear him.
Girls' school too.
Bro, like that teacher was extra. But all in all, I completed. And after school, I was really aiming to go to the university. But my parents, my dad in particular, was like, the course they were giving me, he didn't think that after school I was going to get any job to do. So he made me stay home.
Okay.
I went into a deep, deep depression because my friends stopped talking to me. Like, I'll call them and they're like, oh, I'm busy. I'm on a project. Like, that kind of vibe. Like, they were giving me that vibe. Like, we are higher than you. We are in school. You're not. So I fell into a really, really, really bad depression. Yeah. So sometimes my dad will pop home just to make sure I was alive, I guess. Because I would be in my room for like days and they wouldn't see me. I wasn't eating. I was just like constantly crying.
Just because of the school?
Because my friends are in school and I'm home, bro. Like, I really had a vision for being in a university. We all picked the same hall that we were going to be in, how we were going to decorate our room and all that. And they are in school and I'm not. I'm home. I felt like a failure, like really, really felt like a failure. So it was tough for me. Like that whole year, it was really tough. And my family tried their best to, try to comfort me and tell me it was all for the better and all that. So I bought the forms for training college and I got into St. Louis Training College. And then I went through school back. So my auntie was a teacher there.
Oh, okay.
So everyone on the staff knew me. And so it was more like I had to be disciplined. And being disciplined is not like... It's really not my stronghold.
Yeah.
So I always find a way to be lawless, but then I tried my best in the first year. Yeah. I tried, but I didn't like stay on top of all the rules. Like my peers would be in class learning and I could sign my auntie's signature, so I could sign an exam for myself and I'll be out. It's not like I'm going anywhere, but I just wanted to go out. Yeah. So I'll just sign my auntie's signature, write a note and sign it and I'll be gone. And then most of the teachers too knew me. So sometimes if I don't sign my auntie's signature, I'll just sign any other teacher's signature. And then if you call them and you mention my name, they're like, oh, that's my daughter. So I'll go. Good. And at some point, all the security men knew me. So it was like, I get there and they don't even ask any questions. I wasn't going to the dining room to eat. Like, I'll go to any of the teachers' bungalows and they get me food. Sometimes I just go out and buy food and all that. So life was good until I started teaching. So when my postings came, it was a village I've never been to. My mom was like, this place is so really like, I've never lived anywhere beside my parents. So my dad was worried. My mom made things worse. I would cry that I didn't want that place. So my auntie went to the education office to try and find me a new place. And then we met a guy there, Mr. Sapon, and he was like, well, I can help you get a new place, but you have to go report first to where you were posted before we can switch you up. So I went there and like, I think the first term, I got robbed. They stole my computer.
From the house?
Yeah, like I lived in a teacher's bungalow. So we went on vacation, and then I think it was the pastor, was closer to the mission house.
Okay.
So my pastor called me and he's like, "Did you leave your door open when you were going?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "You have to come right now."
Wow.
When I went, my computer was gone. My phone was gone. I kept some money in my closet. It was gone. Like, the person took everything in my. The only thing the person left me was like my mattress, and that was it. And I was a new teacher. I wasn't getting paid by the government. My parents were still feeding me and all that. So, like, I told my dad, I'm not going anymore. My dad is like, it's part of life. My dad is always so positive. It's like, it's part of life. You have to go. I went for the second term. I think it was during my last term, my third term, because I knew I had seen that I was coming to America. So I was just going through stuff. And then during my third term, I was sleeping in my room. There was one teacher also who was not feeling well. Juliana, she was my best friend. She was sleeping in my room with me because I was taking care of her. And at night, I felt like someone was moving in my room, but because she was sleeping with me, I didn't wake up. I was like, oh, it's just Julie. Until I realized, like, the person was taking my stuff. So I got robbed again.
Wow. That is crazy.
I guess they thought I was rich because I think that it was sometimes, like, when I think about it, I think it was because of the way I used to dress and the way I used to carry myself. People in the village thought I was rich. So I was the target all the time. They were just, oh God. They stole my phone. They stole Juliana's phone. They stole our money. Like, it was crazy. So that day I came to Kumasi with my friend to buy new phones and all that, and then we went back. So from there, I was hoping that the principal of the school was going to do something about it, at least go to the chief of the town or say something. And this man was literally blaming me. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. So I wouldn't go to class to teach. When he asked me, I told him I was recovering from the shock. So I wasn't going to class to teach. Like, I felt bad that the kids were suffering, but also it was my life in danger. Like, you didn't care about my life, so why should I care about someone else's life? So after that, when school vacated, I just took everything that I owned in that village and came to Kumasi. And then school reopened. I was still in Ghana, but I think it was a week before I came to America. And then he called me and he was like, "Why are you not reporting?" I'm like, "Because I don't want to teach anymore." And this man was like, "I'm going to make sure that you don't get paid." And I was like, "Whatever."
Do you remember his name?
He's also dead.
Oh, man. Yo, man. Come on now.
Yeah, it's called Mr. Okai.
Come on.
He's called Mr. Okai. I remember his name. I remember his name very well. He died when he was 69 years. He had just 1 year to go to pension, but he didn't make it.
He didn't get paid.
He did not get paid.
R.I.P. man.
For sure, yeah. He died. Yeah, he's also dead. And then I came to America. I came to live with my cousin, my big brother.
Okay, so before you even start with America stuff, I'll take us back to all the way to after high school that you didn't go to the university with the depression stuff.
Yeah.
How did you overcome that situation?
I wouldn't say I overcame that situation. I was depressed. I didn't even want to go to training college because all my cousins, I had a midwife, one of my cousins, like, she's like my mentor, who's also my cousin. She was working in NADMO. I really wanted to be like her. She went to Yasantua. I went to Yasantua. She went to University of Education. I wanted to go too. So she was like, I wanted to follow all her steps. But then I didn't. But after training college, I felt amazing because I was employed.
Yeah. They were.
They were not. I felt so happy that my parents made me take that decision because they were home. They were not employed, like they were going. So at that time, they were going through what I went through. And then fortunately, we graduated at the same time because they went for 4 years and I went to training college for 3 years. So it was like we all graduated the same year. But immediately I graduated. I stayed home for like 2 months and then I got a job. I was gone. I could afford everything that I wanted. And one thing too that I always tell my dad, like, I feel like I'm lucky in some way. So when we started teaching, they weren't paying us.
Yeah.
Our salary was not coming.
Yeah.
So we taught for like 3 to 4 months, and we were not getting paid. And then when we started getting paid, they were like, "Oh, we are going to reimburse you for all the months that we did not pay you."
Oh, wow.
And lucky for me, my name was part. I think I was the only one in my school whose name was part of the first people who got paid. Wow. So yeah.
Yeah.
I got a big bucks. So yeah. So sometimes I feel like God puts us through certain situations so we can learn.
Yeah.
And also when we come out of it, we actually realize that it was actually a blessing in disguise and not, like, it's a test. I mean, it was a huge test for me because I had to take money. When I stayed home that year, I had to take money from my parents to go braid my hair if I needed anything. And I was like 18 years. I wasn't a kid.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy things for myself, but I didn't get it. So I feel like it was a tough time for me. My cousins will randomly send me money just so I could get things for myself, but I really went through it. It was really a stage, like, I would text my friends and be like, "Oh, I'm busy, I'm that," and it's like I felt so useless.
Yeah.
I felt like my life was just crashing at that time. It wasn't an easy one, but I thank God for it because it has helped me in so many ways. And when I completed and started earning money, when I could sign my own check, go to the bank and get my own money, it was an amazing feeling.
It all made sense.
It made sense. It really did make sense. So yeah, I was grateful for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great half story of it. And I mean, we're gonna move on to the America. That's where everything starts. So I'll let her continue, and you keep listening.
My American journey, wow, it's been a great. Wow, I'm not gonna cry. I promise.
She's not gonna cry, guys.
It's been a great experience. I moved here when I was 23 years old. I wasn't a kid. I didn't want to come. I won a lottery.
Okay.
I didn't want to come. I told my parents I didn't want to come because I had my life figured out. Yeah. I had someone that I thought was going to get married to.
In Ghana?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, at my age, I thought I had everything. I didn't need to go anywhere else to seek greener pastures or anything. So my dad was like, it's a great opportunity. You're the first kid, so just go. Yeah. So I came to live with my cousin. He was really helpful. He helped me get everything, like my Social Security. They paid for my ticket to America, everything. So it was nice. And I arrived here on 19th September, the date I'll never forget. And on 20th October, I got a job. I was working.
Okay.
Yeah, I was working at Walmart.
Was it because you had to like help out your
Because
cousins?
my parents had to take a loan. When I was coming to pay like everything. So I had to start working and pay stuff. And also my cousin, I had to help him pay his, you know how American is like. So I had to pay my share of the utilities. So I needed a job ASAP. So when I worked from October to December, I realized that I had enough money. And my uncle, that man, I don't know how to thank him, but he's an amazing man. He was like, you have to go back to school. Yeah. And I was like, well, I don't want to teach in America because the kids in America will get me in trouble. Yep. I have a temper. Like, I have a really, really short temper. Like, I remember one time when I was teaching, I slapped someone. I think it was a kid. Yeah.
I think something is
my hand.
Because you got slapped. And now you have to slap someone.
It's like a reflex. I just slapped them. I'm not proud of it. Yeah. But then I realized that I had to control my temper. So I was like, I don't want to teach in America. I'll get in trouble. So he's like, well, what do you want to do? And ever since I've been a kid, I really wanted to be a nurse. So I was like, well, I want to get into the health sector. And he was like, okay, in America, getting into the health sector, it's tough, but you can find a way around it. So he was like, you're going to start with being a CNA. Oh, okay. So the money that I gathered from October till December, I was able to save, and I enrolled in the think it was a 4 months course or something, or a 3 months course for being a CNA. And yeah,
Okay.
I enrolled in it, but I had to work from 6:30 to 4 p.m. and my classes starts at 5.
Oh, so you got 30
From
minutes.
5 to 10. So I get off from work, go home, shower. If I want to eat, I'll eat something. And then either my uncle was going to come pick me up
Yeah.
to school, or I had a friend who would come pick me up
Yeah.
to school. And then at night, at 10, whoever was available will come and then drop me
Yeah.
at home. And I think my first trial started when I was done with my CNA and I had to take an exam. I've never failed an exam
Yeah.
ever in my life. So I don't know how it feels. I passed the written part and then I got to the practical. I did the first one and I failed.
Oh.
I failed the first one and my uncle was like, okay, I'll pay for you for the second one and then you're going to take it. Unfortunately for me, I met someone who was not a fan of my color. So the second one,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, we live with them all the time, but sometimes it's like, unless you actually experience it, you don't
Yeah,
actually know,
you
like,
don't know.
people are that racist.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, when you were talking, I couldn't hear you. And I was fresh in America, so my accent was
Wow.
very thick.
That is crazy.
And he was like, well, I couldn't hear you when you were talking, so she failed me. Wow. Yeah, she
Second
failed
time?
the second time, and I only had one more chance.
Wow. That's crazy.
And I only had one more chance, so
So, I mean, like, how did you feel? I know how I would feel for someone to tell me that because I didn't, like, really didn't get what you were trying to say. So I have to feel you knowing you've never failed in life before when it comes to tests. And this is the second time you're
Yeah.
feeling me. Let's say maybe the first time it was just a
first time,
normal
yeah.
thing. But the second time it's like, like, how did you feel? Like, what was going through your head? Like,
So,
should I do this or just
I
quit?
was gonna give up. Like, I really have a short span when it comes to giving up. Like, I don't like to force myself. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like if I'm forcing myself, then it's not for me.
No, yeah.
So when I failed the second time, I cried and cried. And I had a friend. So the people that I took the classes with, some of them were Ghanaians.
Okay.
So there was one guy, Christopher, and I called him. I was like, Chris, I'm not going to do this. And he's like, no, you were so brilliant. You were amazing during the class. You can do this. Like, you helped me through some of them, so I know you can do it. I'm like, no. Like, I help people through their CNA class, and I am failing.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
I guess this is not for me. And he was like, no, you can do it. So he motivated me. And my uncle was like, you're not giving up.
Yeah.
You can do it. So I was like, this is the last time I'm going to try it. And if I fail, I'm not going to take another classes and redo it. Like, this is it. So the third time when I went, I spoke like a robot. Like,
Yeah.
I was taking my course one at a time. I was like, I'm not going to rush through this. I'm going to pick my English one at a time. And fortunately for me, I passed, which was a great feeling. Like, the first person I called was my uncle. I was like, I passed. And I was like, okay, I'm at work, but I'm going to call your younger ones to come pick you up. And I wasn't driving, so my younger cousins came to pick me up. And then I felt like when they were coming, they thought I wasn't, so like they were quiet.
Yeah.
And I also was trying to prank them. So when I sat in the car, my cousin, the guy, was like, how did it go? And I was like, I don't want to talk about it. And then he was like, okay. So when we were almost done, I was like, I showed them the shit. I was like, I passed.
And they were all happy.
They were happy for me.
Yeah.
And my younger sister, she was so happy. She was like,
Yeah.
so why did we cry? Why were you making us go? I was like, well, the suspense. It's nice to make you guys feel that way. But yeah, it was a great feeling to pass. And yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was a great feeling then. But then when I was done with the CNA, I was like, I don't want to, because they tell you, oh, all you do is wipe old people's past. I was like, I don't want to do it. Michael was like, you wasted all that money. And at that time too, I had a promotion at Walmart.
Okay.
I became a manager at Walmart. So like I was comparing the salary and I wasn't driving. So if I want to find a job, I had to find a job closer. or else I'll have to take a bus or an Uber. So I was like trying to compare the two. And my uncle's like, you want to do healthcare. Customer service is not what you want to do. So you have to put your foot in there and try and do it. So he got me a job at a, I think it was a nursing home. Yeah, it was an Alzheimer's nursing home. I worked there for like a week and I got sick. My neck got swollen.
Did you break
I don't
it?
know if it was an infection or what. Like, I had no idea.
It just happened.
It just happened. Like, I worked there for like a week or two, and then my neck got swollen. I couldn't swallow anything. I couldn't eat.
Wow.
I couldn't sleep. It was terrible.
Wow.
And then my uncle again took me to the emergency, and they were like, "Well, we can't actually find anything wrong." It's like,
So what had you swollen there?
I have no idea. My neck was just kept getting swollen. Like, I couldn't swallow, like, nothing.
Yeah.
So they were like, well, let's just check your tonsils and see if we could remove your tonsils and see if it was going to work. And then I was like, is it going to be outpatient or inpatient? And it's like, well, it has to be inpatient. I didn't have insurance.
Yeah.
My uncle was like, let them take care of you. We worry about the money later. So whoever, I don't know what happened, but whoever came in there was like, let me see if I can do it outpatient. So I had my mouth open, like lying on the X, and she did something. I have no idea what she did. But then she started suctioning out stuff. It was crazy.
Wow.
They started suctioning a lot of stuff out of my throat, and like we were just, my uncle was looking at me, I was looking at me, I was like, where the heck was all this? Because we don't know what happened. I hadn't eaten, I don't eat outside. So I haven't eaten anything foreign that I don't know about. I haven't, so we just concluded that it was probably like an infection or something. And then after that, it went for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then it started again.
Wow.
So it was like my bill was compounding. But it had to happen, so I went back again, and then this time around, it was like, if it happens the third time, then we have to do it inpatient and actually take out your tonsils so that we can, if the tonsils is taken out, we can realize if something is going on. And then I think it never came back, but I worked at the facility for like 2 or 3 months, and then a friend, Chris, the guy that I talked to when I failed, he was like, do you want to work with kids? And I was like, yeah, I would love to work with kids. He's like, well, I work at Children's Hospital. So I'm going to tell my manager, and she's going to call you, and we can see if you can get an interview. So I got a job. The manager texted me. She asked me if I wanted the job. She asked for my resume and stuff. And she's like, I really like you. So I got a job before I actually applied.
Yeah.
So she gave me the job, and she was like, due to like the regular proceedings and just to make it official, just apply on the website and then I'll approve it. I went for the interview and it was easy. I got the job at Children's, and I've been working there till now. It's been great.
How many years now?
I've been working at Children's, getting to 6 years now. Wow. Yeah.
You really like it.
I love it.
I mean, I think your thing is teaching.
I think I love kids.
Yeah.
I love kids. I mean, I really love kids, and I don't know, I have a special bond with kids. So anything that has to do with kids is my go-to.
Okay. So you liking the kids stuff and all that? Did you switch educationally, like to education or something?
No. Being a CNA at Children's,
Oh, you were CNA, not teaching?
I wasn't teaching. I was a CNA at Children's.
Oh, okay, nice.
And yeah, I've been doing it till 2021, and I switched to a different role, but it's still at Children's.
Okay.
Still on the same unit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, during all this time you came or doing all this, trying to get your CNA and all that, failing, passing after, was there somebody that you were talking to, since you already had somebody you were trying to get married to
in Ghana?
Yeah.
So, relationship. Okay, let's go to my relationship stuff.
Okay.
So, when I was in my third year in training college, there was this guy that I had been seeing since my second year in Yasantua, or my third year in Yasantua.
Okay.
I was talking to this guy. He was really nice. He is a nice person generally. He was a shy. It was a project for me, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying this.
I mean, you can tell us. Maybe somebody's out there.
I had this friends. They were like my cadet instructors. I knew them from my primary school days, and then they came to us and started to teach us cadets.
Okay.
So it was like I called them my brothers and all that. People didn't actually even know that they were not even related to me because I called them my cousin. And when they were coming, they'll buy me stuff and all that. So we were like really close. And then he was a friend to them. So I was like, when he comes to the place, he was like super quiet, and I was noisy. I was really a chatterbox. Like I could talk for the world. So I was like, why is this guy always like quiet and he's acting like he's superior than everyone else? And then my friend was like, well, he just got a broken heart and he has decided not to date anyone again. So he's kind of like shy of girls. And I was like, I'm gonna make him date me.
Oh, okay. So let me clarify this. Did you like him initially?
It was just a project.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
I didn't like him. I just didn't like the fact that he was quiet and acting like he was superior than anyone else. So I was like, I'm gonna make him date me. So we betted on it.
Oh. We're your cousins? Oh, wow. Yeah, the whole project, man.
We betted on it. And so they were like, if you're able to make him date you before you're done with school, we're going to give you this amount of money. And then if you're not, you're going to owe us this amount of money. So I was like,
crazy.
Bet. And we did. So I started talking to him. He would come to this, and like I would just isolate myself from everyone else, go stay with him and talk. Initially, he was kind of like, giving me that vibe like I was shy, I don't want to talk, but hey, it's me. So
she said it's me.
I was able to get him, so we started dating. And unfortunately for me, or fortunately for him, after I heard his story and everything, I fell for him.
Ooh.
So we started dating, I think in my third year of secondary school, in my third year. And we started dating. I dated him for, I think, close to 5 years.
Okay.
I think he's actually like my only serious relationship before I got married. And so I dated him for close to like 5 years. And in my final year of training college, I think, I went to his place to cook for him and clean for him and stuff. And then he had a password to my phone. I had a password to his phone. Yeah. Please don't be going through your partner's phone, please. So I was in his room, and then someone texted, and the person was like, "Hi, love."
Love.
I was like,
Okay.
Someone is using my line.
Yeah.
So I took the phone and I went through the message, but then he had already told me about this girl. He didn't tell me it was a girl he was dating or a girl he was seeing. He told me, I've seen this girl. She's like really, really stubborn, and her parents want me to, mentor her. So she's like my daughter.
No, that line, man. That used to be my line too.
Damn. Yeah. I should have known. So he was like, this girl is mine. Like sometimes he will call me and is like, I'm not going to mention their names because they are married now. Right. So he was like, this girl called me. She said she wants money to go braid her hair. So I'm sending him. And I'm like, okay. And then like sometimes it's like, this girl came here, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, we talk about this girl. But in my mind, this girl is just a daughter to him. Nah. So I took his phone. And I'm like, hi, love. I started from the top. I have that talent. I'll start from the top.
Wow.
I started from the top. And it was not a father-daughter relationship. They have been taking their shower together.
Huh?
Going
for real, like
going
father and daughter, man.
Going shopping together. Like,
wow. The whole relationship.
I looked stupid because the girl came to the training college that I was, but I was out doing my teaching practice. I wasn't in school. Yeah. So he told me, he was like, she's coming to your training college. Is there anyone that you would want to, like, take care of her? Like, people do like, oh, she's my friend, she's my cousin. Can you actually take care of her so that they don't actually bully her? And then I knew all the teachers. So everyone in the school knew me. I had a lot of school daughters. So I was like, I was like, oh yeah, I have a lot of people that I can. Fortunately for her, she went to the same hall that I was. So I told my house mistress, oh, this is my cousin. Can you not, can you not give her the hefty, morning duty and stuff? She was like, yeah. I told the house prefect. I told my school daughter. So she was living the dream life. Yeah. She wasn't actually doing anything that was like super over the top for her. So when I found out, I think it was before that, one of my school daughters called me and then she was like, are you sure this girl is actually your cousin? I was like, not really, but she's related. And they all knew my boyfriend is. I was like, he's related to this guy. And she was like, when I asked her about him, she said it's her boyfriend. I was like, it's not true. That was me.
So how did, okay, maybe it'll get there. I'm trying to find out if he told her who you were to her, him.
No, they never talked about me.
Oh, wow.
No.
Okay.
I never existed to her. She never knew me.
So you doing all this, that's my cousin, treat her good and all that. She didn't know you.
She didn't know. She hadn't met me. What? She had never met me personally. I'd never met her. And then when I was in training college too, I went for a position, like a professional position in training. So I had some people had my posters on their lockers and all that. So my pictures were like all over the school. Yeah. I think that was how she got to know me. So my school daughter said, she showed her my picture. She's like, oh, I don't know her. She's like, well, she's the one that told me to take care of you. She's like, oh, okay. So they asked her about my boyfriend then. And then she was like, oh, he's my boyfriend. Huh? So one of my school daughters called me. She's like, Sister Christopher. I'm like, yeah. She's like, are you sure this girl is your cousin? I'm like, no, not really. She's related to so and so. Yeah. So I just took it like, she's like, well, she said he's his boyfriend. I was like, no, it's probably just childish talks. She's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah. Later on, and she came back to me. She's like, Sister Christopher, well, this is fishy. Yeah. She was trying to, she's like, Sister Christopher, well, this is really fishy. I was like, Ruth, don't worry about it. So when I found those messages,
everything made sense.
Everything made sense.
Wow.
And his parents knew me. I'm still like super tight with his parents right now. Like,
that is crazy.
His dad will call me and we will make jokes and all that. I'm so tight with his family. Yeah. He had two brothers and his mom and dad. They really, really knew me. We were like super tight. So I just took my stuff and left his place.
Oh, so that time you were leaving?
I wasn't leaving with him. I just went for the weekend.
Okay.
I was teaching. I was doing my teaching practice. So technically I couldn't go live with him. Yeah. I had to stay in the place that I was teaching. Okay. So I had a place that I was teaching. I just went to visit. We were having sports that week and school was not busy. So I was like, I'm just going to go over to his place for the weekend and, spend some time with him. Wow. So I went and then I found
Playboy.
And the funny thing is, I could defend him to the moon. Because he's quiet. I had to pursue him, literally. So I was like, oh, this guy is quiet. He doesn't talk to girls.
The quiet people. We here, I
was like, he doesn't talk to boys and all that. So, he's quiet. He's not going to do that. So that was why I was like so 100%, defending him. And his family knows me.
He's mine. Come on now.
His family knows me. Everyone, where he worked, everyone knew me. Like, where he lives, everyone knows me. Like,
we still have another person I should go. What?
It was crazy.
Took a shower with her and all that, man.
So I just took my stuff and I left and I went to where I was teaching. So when I got home, he had already called his brothers because I was like super tight with his brothers. So he had already told his brothers what had happened. And then they were trying to call me and be like, you are the one we know. We are the one you have accepted. We don't know her, blah, blah, blah.
What?
I was like...
Well, too late.
I mean, I was kind of reconsidering it. But then I was like, no. Wow. So I also wanted to hurt him. So I also started seeing someone else.
Okay.
I was just trying to hurt him. So his friends will call me, try to talk. His dad came over to where I was teaching to come and plead and all that. I was like, Yeah.
So are you gonna advise, let's say, the younger women, girls out there to do the same as you trying to like get your revenge? Are you gonna advise them?
No,
Okay.
don't.
Okay.
Because the revenge is not going to solve anything. It's going to hurt you in the long run.
Okay.
Because I was trying to hurt him. He was far gone.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, he didn't even feel, I mean, he kind of felt it because he felt disappointed and all that, but he was far gone.
Yeah.
I was like, are you going to choose between us? Like, are you going to break up with her and choose me, or what are you going to do? And he was like, well, the girl has a really soft heart. Like, she would cry very soon and blah, blah, blah. So I should wait for him to date her till she's done with school. And then he was going to break the news to her. And I was like,
What
would I be doing with my life then? Like, waiting for you people to finish
Let me
dating.
date somebody first. What kind of crazy
It's like,
sentence is that?
you are stubborn. You can withstand so many stuff. She is not like that. She's very soft, blah, blah, blah. So let me date her till she's done with school, and then I'll break up with her, and then I'll come. I was like, that is crazy. I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Until she's done with school, and I'll let you have your time. That is crazy.
I was like, I'm not doing it. So like when I went to first year, I had a school mother, Kezia. I called her and I was like, Mommy K, this and this is what he's saying. And she's like, don't take that bullshit. He's like, don't take that bullshit. I was like, okay. I mean, I was ready to consider that.
Whoa.
You
were
I was head over heels in love.
In love.
I was head over heels in love, so I was ready to consider, but she was like, no, don't do it. Do not even give him the chance. And then after that, his friends will call me, meet up with me. And the funny thing is, they all knew.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, of course. Always. Always.
They all knew. And then I was like, okay, give me the story of why you told me she's your daughter instead of you guys were dating. He was like, well, they had a group. They had this cadet group that they joined. She was like, well, she came into the group. She had a boyfriend who brought her into the group, and then they broke up, and she wanted to leave the group, and I wanted her to stay in the group. So that's why I started dating her. Mind you, I wanted to join this group. Yeah. This guy was like, no.
I mean,
I don't want you
it's going to be a crash, you know?
Way before she even joined. Yeah. Like, I was like, I'm going to join this group because that was the group that I, like, my friends who I betted on with, they were all in that same group. So it was like, he was like, no, I mean, I don't want you to join this group because those group, the guys just be, you know, flirting with the girls and all that, and you're my girlfriend. I don't want you to join that group. So, no, I'm not letting you join that group. And I mean, it kind of makes sense because I knew those guys. And
it doesn't make sense. A jealous boyfriend who is still cheating. Like, what? How can you be jealous? What? You can cheat too.
It just happened. Wow. So when they realized that he was dating her, they started calling me because I knew half of them. Like half of them were like my buddy, like they were more like my friends. So I was like, what is going on with you and him? I was like, why? He's like, oh, he's seeing this girl. And I was like, oh, it's not true. That was me.
That was the school.
Oh God.
In love.
I was like, crazy. No, he's not. And then they were like, did you guys break up? And I was like, no. She was like, well, he's dating this girl. And I was like, no. So it was all making sense. I was like, well, let's just call it quits. I was like, you can go for her. Yeah. But then you have to promise me you're going to marry her. You're not going to be jumping from girls to girls. You have to marry her.
Why did you say that? Just because you care for him?
I mean, I care for him.
Yeah.
It's like, I care for him very much. Yeah. I like him very much. He's a good person.
Nah, he's not. He's not.
He's a good person. His parents are amazing.
Can you just stop saying it? He's not. He's trying to date two people at the same time, telling you, let him date this person.
He was just confused.
For like 2-3 years, and I'll let her go, and you come back. What?
I really cared for him, so I was like, you know, like, promise me you're going to marry her. And then she was like, okay.
See?
So they were... I hope he doesn't see this, but...
I hope you see it, man.
They are married with 2 kids now, and the girl still feels threatened by me.
Well, you got to.
Which is crazy. I mean, I still talk to him sometimes.
In a way, I don't blame her, though, because maybe she didn't know about you, too.
She didn't know about me, but then so after I found out, I called her and I was like, hey, I wanted to find out more what was going on. Yeah. And apparently her mom was even friends with my mom.
Wow.
So she knew me from afar, but not related to the guy.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, I know you. I've seen you here, blah, 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 helping your mom. I was like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, who is your mom? And she said, her mom. I didn't know her mom. And she was like, oh, I've seen you around. You're a really nice person, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's a crazy combination right there.
They are married. Not happily married, though, but they are married with 2 kids. So I had to move on. And when I came to America, I wasn't seeing anyone back home. I was single on the market. But I was shuttered from that. So I was like, I'm not even looking. But then during my CNA era, I met this guy. I was going to work one day, driving, like I was walking through my apartment, and this guy just pulled up his red Camry in front of me. He's like, hey, I want to give you a ride. He's a Ghanaian.
What?
I'm like, you want to kidnap me? I was like, no, I'm fine. I'm just walking to Walmart.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, no, just sit. I'll give you a ride. And there was a lady in the front seat. So I was like, okay. So
It was safe.
I felt safe. They were both Ghanaian. So I just sat in the back. He asked me my name, where I come from, blah, blah, blah. He took my number. And I was like, okay.
For what?
He just wants to be friends. So I was like, okay. And then he like randomly, he would call you, he would text you, be like, hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. You know how you guys are. Yeah. But I wasn't looking his way because I wasn't looking for anyone. And then I started going to church. And there was this guy at church that I also had my eye on.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, guys.
Was that a plan too? A project?
It wasn't a project. I was done with projects. That was my first and last project. I'm not going to doing projects again. I'm done, please.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I saw this guy. I was like, oh, he's a nice guy. So he became my friend. And then, but then I realized he had a girlfriend back home. So I was like, never mind. So we were just friends. We would hang out, go out to he was like, well, you're new here. I have been here for a long time. So he was just showing me around town.
Who is this one?
The one from church. Yeah.
Okay.
He was just showing me around town. We were just friends. Strictly friends. Okay. Nothing else.
Okay. Friends.
We were just friends. I mean, when I came at that time, like during those times, I had lots of people, chasing me. Like I used to work at Walmart. I had to buy a ring.
Yeah.
And wear it just so people would stop.
Leave you alone.
Yeah. Sometimes a Ghanaian will come. I was a cashier at Walmart for the first time. And then people will come to your lane and be like, oh, I like you. And you're like, no, I don't. And like they will hold the line still just so they can talk to you. It was becoming frustrating. So I bought a ring. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I'm married. People will still propose.
They don't care. Mm-hmm.
It was really.
Your husband is not here, so they don't care.
It was crazy. So the guy that I met while going, the red Camry guy, he chased me for like a whole year.
So who was the lady in the front? On the front
it was his church member.
Hey.
It was. Oh, that one is true. I've met the lady.
Church member.
It was his church member. So she was even saying, "Oh, he's a nice person. Hey. He's good." Blah blah. Oh, this lady really praised this guy. Mm-hmm. So the guy chased me for a whole year, and I was like, I'm not interested. So like after a year, I was like, he looks like he's serious, and I wasn't getting any younger. So I was like, well, let's see how this goes. So I gave him a chance, and we started dating. And after a year, he was like, when people saw that I was dating him, I started hearing news. Ooh. He's a womanizer. He's a bad boy. He's this.
Was he younger or like a little bit older?
He was 3 years older than me. Oh, so he wasn't that old. Yeah. He's a womanizer. He's a drunkard. He's a blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. He's married.
Married.
And this guy was getting ready to marry me. We did it for a year and he was ready to marry me.
Wow. Okay.
So I was like, okay. That's at that time he had introduced, I talked to the mom on the phone. His dad is dead, so.
Yeah. So how is he married then? If people are saying it.
And I talked to his mom. He had one kid. Yeah. The girl that I knew, lady. She was like, when I met him, she was like 2 years old. Baby. And they were like, he's married, he's blah, blah, blah. I had this lady tell me, oh, he's married. I have some of his wedding pictures. I'll send it to you. They never sent it.
Yeah.
So I called the mom and I was like, well, this is what people are saying. Is it true that he's married to his baby mama?
Yeah.
The mom is like, oh no, he's not married. I wouldn't lie to you. I'm an old lady. I'll never do that to you.
Okay.
I said, I believe him. I believe the mom. I mean, she's older than my mom, so definitely.
Why would you lie?
But I wanted more confirmation. So I called him randomly. I was like, hey, I want to buy some clothes for your child. Can you give me the mom's number? And I don't know how he knew, but he gave me a random person's number. And I called this lady and I'm like, hi, my name is this, and I'm a friend of this person. Are you guys married? This lady insulted me.
Oh. That's the fake number one.
That's the fake number. And I was thinking it was a baby mama. She insulted me. She's like, he's not married to me. He's just taking care of his child. There's nothing going on between us. I have a boyfriend. I'm even going to get married very soon, blah, blah, blah.
So was it a setup or what?
It was a setup.
Oh.
We get there later, don't worry.
Wow. Wow.
This lady insulted me to the bone. I was like, okay. And I've heard him talk to her before, and she has that, some Ghanaians who are not so educated, but she's educated. She was a teacher. And then she had this high-pitched sound that she would be talking over the phone, and like I could hear her insulting him and all that. So when I heard that voice, I was convinced it was her.
Yeah.
This lady insulted me. She's like, no, he's not my boyfriend. He's not my husband. He's just taking care of his child, blah, blah, blah. So I believe him.
Wow.
And then he went to Ghana and got he got married. He did the necessary.
Oh, to you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He did the necessary traditional rites.
Yeah.
So we were married. And unfortunately for me, the day that he did that was the same day that my grandma died. I guess that was a sign. I wasn't even looking.
Wow.
Yeah. My grandma died that night that he did that.
Crazy.
So he got married to me on Saturday. I was here. I didn't go to Ghana. He did it in Ghana. I was here. And so Sunday, I didn't even go to church because I was talking to my aunties and my uncle because my grandma was dead. And so everyone was there. I wasn't. So I was just talking to them FaceTime and trying to tease them that they were crying even though they are old and their mom is dead. And so at night, a Ghana number called me and I thought it was one of the family members. So I answered the call and she's like, hello, my name is this. I was like, oh, hi. Because I knew her name. I've heard about her. So I was like, okay, hi, what's going on? How are you? How is the kid? And she's like, do you know you're married to my husband? I was like, but I've called you before and you told me.
You insulted me.
She's like, me? Wow. And I gave her the number that I called. And then she's like, that's not my number. This is my number.
Wow.
And she's like, yeah, he's married to me. He's my husband. We have a kid. I think that time the kid was 3 years old. We have a kid. She's 3 years old, blah, blah, blah. We are married. Even when he came to Ghana, he came here. It's like,
how is that even possible?
It's like, okay.
That's crazy.
She's like, it's late. I'll call you in the morning. And then he was leaving Ghana on Monday and me here on Tuesday. So the Monday, this lady called me the whole day. We talked. She's like, she sent me their engagement pictures.
Wow.
Their traditional marriage. Everything. Her naming ceremony, like naming the baby, like everything. And after that, I called his mom. And I was like, this person has called me and she has given me proof that she's actually married to this person. So why did you lie to me? She's like, it's a long story. I didn't approve of that marriage. That girl does not respect. So I never liked her. So that's why I told you, because I never wanted him to get married to her. And so that marriage is not valid for me. And I'm like, you are in the pictures.
Yeah.
That woman is literally in the pictures.
Smiling.
the kid was named after her. So she is in the pictures with the ring, the Bible, everything, like everything. I'm like, you are in the pictures.
What are you
She's
talking
like,
about?
yeah, I know, but I don't approve of that marriage. So don't worry. Everything will be sorted out when he comes back. I was like, okay.
That is crazy.
And yeah, so he got here and so I moved in with him when he was going to Ghana. I moved to his place because I knew he was going to get. So I moved to his place, and then he was sharing a room with his friend. So when I was talking to people on the phone, his friend heard me. So he called him
Already.
and told him everything. So when he was coming, he was preparing his lies.
Yeah.
So he knew everything before he came. And he came. He's like, I don't love her. I've been trying to get a divorce from her, but she's not approving it. She's living with a guy. And so there's nothing going on between us. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, that's fine. She was not even the problem. There was another woman. His high school girlfriend.
Oh, Lord Jesus. What? I mean,
there was another woman.
I think they said it, but I just
didn't listen.
Yeah.
I feel like, so right now when I think about it, I feel like the only reason why I got married to him was to prove people wrong, not because I loved him.
Yeah.
I was just trying to prove a point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought he was going to change for me. And like every single person I knew warned me about him.
Wow.
But I was just trying to prove a point. So there was this, she was like, well, he left me because of this person, his high school girlfriend. And that's why we are not together anymore. So I was like, okay, tell me more about this person.
Yeah.
Apparently, they had been high school girlfriend. Like, they've been dating for a long while. And the mom didn't like her.
Yeah.
The mom was not in support of the relationship all along. So he left her. I mean, it's like they left in the face of people, but they were still seeing each other. And the girl, someone from Germany got married to the girl's parents forced her to get married to someone in Germany. So the girl's husband was in Germany and she was in Ghana. And then
he would come to Ghana, so
they were running shift actually.
Wow.
The husband comes for 6 months and spends it with a girl, and this guy goes to Ghana for 6 months and spends it with a girl.
Was dating you or like
while we were together?
6 months. How were you doing it? Like 6 months?
Don't worry. It gets worse from here.
Yeah, I'm already getting some goosebumps and stuff. You know?
Yeah, I don't like to talk about this, but yeah, I think I have to. People have to learn from it.
That's
so yeah,
crazy.
And then, so when he was going to Ghana, right? Mm-hmm. He has 2 younger sisters. I love shopping. When I'm depressed, I shop. I love to shop. I mean, that was when I was okay.
Bring me along.
So he was like, "Oh, I love those clothes. Can you buy? I want to buy some for my younger sisters."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, don't worry. I mean, they're my sister-in-laws. I'll buy them for you." And then he gives me the size. "Oh, I love these shoes. Can you buy some for me?"
Oh, I get it now.
I shopped like a whole bag
for the fake sister.
For the supposed sister.
Yo, this is some demon stuff. Like what?
And yeah, he took everything to the girl.
The high school.
The high school girlfriend who was married. He took everything I bought. The clothes, the shoes, the necklace, the jewelry, everything I bought.
Hey, I hope you see this and feel bad, man.
He took everything to her. I didn't even know about it until the baby mama told me.
Man.
So after I got, when he came back, I asked him and he's like, "No, it's not true. Yeah. She's just trying to separate us, blah, blah, blah."
Still lying.
So I don't know, but I think I've forgotten the name for them. They lie so much. They can't differentiate the truth from the lie. Mm-hmm. So they get fixated with the lies and they can't speak the truth. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he lies so much that
He's
he,
used
he
to it.
cannot speak the truth. He doesn't know how to speak the truth. So even if he is not doing anything wrong, he has to lie
Yeah.
to just cover his tracks. So he told me everything, and I was trying to prove a point. So I was like, I'm gonna make this marriage work.
Still.
I stayed.
Wow.
I So when he came, I think he got here in February. He got here February 3rd or February 5th, one of those, like every week of February. And the funny thing is, the clothes that he wore to go get engaged to me was sewn by his girlfriend.
Yes. He's a savage. What?
Yeah, the girl sewed
This
the
is some
clothes.
crazy stuff. Like what? What is this? Did he just plan everything that he's gonna
It
do?
looks
like
like
what?
he planned, I don't know, but
Nah, he's crazy.
it looks like it was planned, but he was just, stringing me along with him, but it just happened. So when I found out about it,
Yeah.
it's like sometimes you be in the room with him and this girl will call and then he leaves the room, goes and talks to her. Sorry to say this, but sometimes you be having sex with him and a girl calls and then he just gets up and go.
What?
But yeah,
And you were okay with it at that time still. You
I
were
did.
trying to let it work.
I was
Wow.
I was focused on making it work. You be going like, so when he came back from Ghana, he had a truck company and the company was not working anymore. So he had no job when he came back. And then it was during COVID time, it was 2020 COVID time. So he would be like, I want to do DoorDash, I want to do this. And sometimes, no, he was doing Instacart, where they go shop for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would call off of work and I would use my phone and use his phone and we would pick up like 2 orders and I'll help him because I was trying to help. And so one time he took my phone and he was using it to shop around and I took his phone and I was using it to shop
bad
around.
idea.
And the girl called and I answered the call. And I was like, oh, do you know he's married? And he's like, he's not married. Even if he's married, he's still mine.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
and then she ended the call. So I looked for him and gave him his phone. I didn't tell him what happened. I gave him his phone and I took mine. So the girl, I think the girl texted him or called him or something and told him that I
picked
picked the call and he gave it to me. Like, he insulted me. He gave me a piece of his mind. And he sent the girl money. And I asked him what was for. He's like, it's for compensation.
What?
He's compensating the girl for me.
Picking up the phone.
Yeah, picking up the phone and telling her
he's married. Who is this?
he's there.
He's who?
He's there.
Oh, I thought he's the gone too. I was
No.
like,
Oh, yeah. He is going to live for a long time. I feel like he's there.
He has to find out. Yeah, that's some crazy.
So it
ass
was,
stuff.
I think I lost interest in the whole
Trying to let it work.
thing at some point in my life. So I also wanted to I had friends back home in Ghana who were like so madly in love with me. So I was trying to find emotions or like someone who would love me elsewhere. So I was talking to this friend in Ghana. It wasn't like we were talking anything crazy, but just talking. And then I think one time I was talking to this person on the phone and then he was listening to our conversation.
Hey.
And then he barged into the room, took my phone and read my messages with the person and talked to this person. He was like, you're cheating on me. And he did a whole lot. Like, it was a whole lot of drama. And then he was like, well, since I've caught you cheating on me, you have to agree that I'm going to cheat on you for the rest of my life. Like,
What? So disrespectful.
I was like, okay.
And you were still,
At
you
that-
see, okay.
At that point, I had lost hope. But then I didn't want people to laugh at me.
For like break up, divorcing or something?
Yeah, so I was like, I'm just going to endure this for as long as it will last. And if I die, fine. If I don't, whatever. So I think either that night or the night before I took some pills. I think. Yeah, I think I took some pills and it almost got to me. I think
Yeah.
I almost passed out. And my friend in Ghana called the suicide line here.
Yeah.
And they called me and they told me what to do to kind of make the drug ineffective, and then I took it. So after that it was like I could see him cheating, I could hear him
it's like,
cheating, but
I don't
I
really
can't
care.
say anything about it. I just had to sit and watch him do whatever he wanted to do. So he was hardly even. I would cook for him. He would call this person on FaceTime,
Yeah.
chatting, and sometimes I go to work. He wasn't working, so I was paying all the bills.
Okay.
Like I'll send money to his parents. I'll send money to his baby mama for like. I'll send money to his baby mama for the child I'll keep. His mom was not all that great, so I had to send. The mom had a driver who took her to work. I pay the driver. I'll give him. He drinks alcohol for a living, so I would buy alcohol for him and everything. And I would go out to work. He brings ladies to the house. I didn't even know about it.
What is this?
I didn't even know about it. So one time he was like, "Oh, we could do a food vlog. So let's just open a YouTube channel." And he was sending me pictures and videos that he wanted us to use. And unfortunately for me, he sent me videos of him with girls in the house when I was not around.
Wow.
So he said, I was like, "What is this?" I couldn't do anything about it.
And he didn't care too.
Wow.
I was buying groceries. I'll buy groceries for the house. He comes over with his friends and eat.
But quick question right there. At that time you already know like you're done with it, trying to let it work or anything. So why
I was
would-
done, but I didn't want to leave.
because of people,
What people were
gonna
going to say and how I was going to be treated, so I didn't want to leave.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
I was like, I'm just going to endure it as much as I can.
At that time, did you kind of feel like love is not just for you, or like relationship is not for you?
I think that ship sailed a long time ago.
Yeah.
Being love, relationship. I always tell my cousins, like, everything that has to do with ship does not work for me. Friendship, relationships, it's not for me. I'm never like you when it comes to things like that. So it just happened. So I sent it to him and he wasn't even sorry about it. I was like, it is what it is. I was like, okay. And so sometimes he would force himself and sleep with you. You cannot complain. And so, yeah. He would go out to drink with his friends. I was supposed to go to. And he'll go smoke hookah and stuff, and he would literally put a dress and like he would put a clothes there, wear this, let's go. So at that point it was like I was just a slave in that marriage.
In America here.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and I'll just go along with it. So I got pregnant, and I feel like that pregnancy was on purpose for me, because at that point I needed something to hold on to, because all I wanted to do was end it. I wanted to end my life, but I needed something to help me stay grounded. Else I was, because my family depends on me, but I wasn't thinking about them.
No.
It was just me and how to survive. So if I don't find something to hold on to, I was just going to end it.